Hello everyone. We have started with lesson number 6, life process in 10th standard, and in that we already studied about the nutrition. Today we will start with the next topic, that is respiration. So in this chapter we have to study 4 different life processes, that is nutrition, respiration, transpiration and aspiration. Okay, so what is respiration? What we have done in the nutrition? In the nutrition, at the end of digestion process, the smaller particle of food is generated, which were transported to the specific site of organ. Okay, and those food particles which are transported, those are very simple and absorbable form. Okay, so before we start with the whole process, we will understand the process from where it comes from. Okay, we take the food, or we means any living organism, they take the food, their food will get digested. If the food will the undigested food will get excreted from the body, and the food which is digested, that will absorb by blood. And which is further transported to different sides of the cell of the body. Okay, now here what is transportation again? So transportation also we have to study in this chapter. This we'll study later on, but transportation is nothing but transport of the food component to the different organ. Okay, so here in digestion, what was happened? In digestion, the complex food is converted into simple absorbable form, or breakdown of the complex food into the simple absorbable form. Okay, now here the same thing. Now again in the respiration, what happened in the respiration is whatever the food particle we have engulfs, or whatever the food particle is present in the cell, that particle, that food will get converted or will get broken down into more simpler form, or broken down to release the energy. Simpler form is done into the digestion. Now here, whatever the simplest form, we can say the glucose. Glucose is there, is converted, is broken down and release the energy. Okay, so this is all about the respiration. Now understand what is this respiration is again divided into 2 further types. Those are some cells which require oxygen for the respiration process are follow aerobic respiration, whereas the cells which do not require oxygen for the respiration process are called anaerobic respiration. Now again, what happened? What is the simpler particle at the end of the digestion process? That is, we can say the glucose, and the energy will be generated through the glucose only. So what? Now hope you understand this flow chart. Now as we know, there are 2 types of the respiration process. One where oxygen is required and one where oxygen is not required. So here, if we take the glucose, this glucose will get transported to some organ, and from where this glucose comes? Okay, just give you brief. In the digestion process, during the digestion process, absorption has taken place. Absorption has taken place. We already studied. There are villi in the small intestine, and this villi has absorbed the food particles. Suppose we can say the glucose, and from these smaller capillaries, this glucose is further transported to the bloodstreams. this from these blood streams, it has come into the blood, and this blood, when it comes from, when that blood will come again to the heart, and from the heart, that blood, that food particle through the blood, it will goes to the different organ. Here we can say any organ this food has come. Okay. In the organ, organ is made up of tissues, and tissues are made up of cells. So it has came into the cell. So this food particle now present into the cell. So that is how the food particle came into the cell. Now here, once the food particle came into the cell, it follows the aerobic respiration or it follows anaerobic respiration. Okay, now glucose when it is transported and enter into the cell. Now glucose has entered into the cell. This glucose particle has entered into the cell. Now what will happen? This cell, now because the respiration process taken place into the cell, that is why it is called the cellular respiration. This glucose particle now it will convert it into pyruvate. So here I will write glucose will convert it into pyruvate. Okay, and where does this action takes place? Inside the cell. Inside the cell, what is there? We can say it's the plasma. In the plasma, glucose is converted into pyruvate. Okay. Now, where does this pyruvate go again? This is the cell, and cell have some organelles inside. This, out of all the organelles, which is the ATP generating site or powerhouse, we can say, it's a mitochondria. Okay. So here is we can say the mitochondria. Now glucose is entered and converted into pyruvate. This pyruvate will go in the mitochondria, and this will now convert it into more simpler form. Okay. Now here glucose. Glucose is a 6-carbon compound. We can write like this. Now when it enters into the plasma, it will get broken down into 3-carbon compound, that is pyruvate. Now this pyruvate will get entered into mitochondria. Now in the mitochondria, this is I am talking about cellular aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration only they will enter into mitochondria. So into mitochondria, this pyruvate 3-carbon molecule will get converted into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy, and this energy will generated through the mitochondria, and this is in presence of oxygen. Here oxygen is required to take the process. O2 is needed, hence it is called the aerobic respiration. Okay, now what was the second process taken place in anaerobic case? Here some case, as I say, in some cases they do not require oxygen. Say for example in the yeast cells, some anaerobic bacteria, those do not require oxygen at all for the respiration process. So what will happen in absence of O2? O2 is not required. So that process will take place if oxygen is required in the mitochondria for the aerobic respiration. But here there is no requirement of oxygen molecule. Hence, this process will take place in the cell. So pyruvate will converted into here. Pyruvate will converted into further simpler molecule. We will write over here. So in this case also carbon dioxide will generated. Then what else? We can say the alcohol, that is ethanol. Ethanol will get generated and energy. Energy will generated. So here if we say this is the single carbon compound and two carbon molecule converted into energy. So and here one carbon compound, ethanol is two carbon compound. So basically here three carbon CO2 compound will release. Here one carbon dioxide molecule, then ethanol, that is two carbon compounds. Other than this, there is one possibility where cell do not require much of oxygen. That means in presence, but in the very less amount. Say for an example, in muscles, when we do too much of exercise, all the oxygen which is present in the tissues of our muscles that get utilized. That means there will be a lack of oxygen. So in lack of oxygen, what will happen? Lactic acid will get generated. Okay, and energy. So there are three possibilities. Either they follow, organism follow aerobic respiration. Here three molecules will get generated. Second one is anaerobic respiration, where oxygen is not required. Two components generated and energy will liberated. And in lack of oxygen, lactic acid will produce along with the energy. In all three cases, energy will get generated. Here lactic acid is the three carbon compound. Now, as we know that through the aerobic respiration, because of the energy, aerobic respiration, more energy will get generated rather than this one, anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is quite slow. We cannot say the slow, but that much energy will not get liberated. Okay, so these are all three different processes of respiration. Now we'll try to understand from where the oxygen molecule comes for the aerobic respiration into the cell. Okay, come here. This is about the glucose. Glucose molecule has come into the organ, and from the organ it comes to the cell. Now for the oxygen, from where it comes? That comes from nostrils. That means respiration process. Through the respiration process, and the first step, very beginning step, that is breathing. So breathing is, some students have misconception that respiration is a breathing, but that is not actually true. Respiration is what? That is part of breathing is a part of respiration. So at the first step of respiration is breathing. So यहाँ breathing, through breathe करने O2, breathing, oxygen will enter. Now what will happen? Once it can enter, that will go to lungs. Now what will happen over here? The wall of lung. Say this is the wall of lung. Oxygen has entered, come here, reach here. Now this oxygen has to transport it inside the lungs. So this transport region has got some smaller capillaries, blood capillaries we can say. Okay, so in this blood capillaries, those blood capillaries are saying oxygen is here. This is lung. Okay, now from where it will get enter? through the blood capillaries. Capillary O2 will bind with the blood particles. We can say in blood if we have RBCs, but here we will just write blood. Will bind with the oxygen. This blood has bind with the oxygen. Now it has entered into the lungs. Now here we can say the oxygen is blood Hb, hemoglobin present in the blood where oxygen can bind. Oxygen has bind here. This has transferred HBO, has transferred the oxygen molecule inside the lungs walls, inside the lungs. So here it will now liberate the oxygen and the blood particle will be free of the oxygen. Now where this lungs, once it comes to the lungs, again some new particle of blood are over here also. So they will, यहाँ पे blood, through blood it will NO2. Once it enters into the lungs, it will get it. You don't have to go that in that detail. This process I am explaining. Blood that will again goes to the any organ. Blood can reach to the any organ, and from the organ it will go to the tissue. So यहाँ पे blood will go into the organ. So we can write the writing. So in the organ now we have the food particle. This is the food particle, and here oxygen. Hope you understand this process from where the food particle comes, from which way, and from where the oxygen molecule comes and enter into the cell. So basically the cell will have the oxygen molecule and the food particle. Now this process of respiration takes place inside the cell. That is why this process is known as cellular respiration. Okay, now you understand why if in exam the question comes like respiration, why it is called the cellular respiration, then you have to give the answer in your own way, that respiration takes place inside the cell inside the cell by using oxygen and food component, hence it is called the cellular respiration. Okay, now in this chapter we have to study only human respiration tract and human respiration system. So anaerobic respiration and in lack of oxygen respiration, that we don't have to learn in the detail. As you are in the 10th standard, you only have to study the respiration process which takes place in the human being. Okay, so we will now concentrate here how I am drawing the whole tract. Okay, to better you draw and learn the diagram along with me to draw in an easy way. Okay, so here in 10th standard, all the diagrams which are given in the NCERT book, they all are very important. Any diagram can be asked, so you have to prepare all the diagram thoroughly and in a quick way, so you don't waste much of the time. But I'll draw a little smaller. Okay, now we have to mark it. This is the nasal passage. Nasal cavity. This whole cavity here is called nasal cavity. Okay, now look at here. Through the nasal passage, the air will enter inside our body, and in the nasal cavity, what will happen? Whatever the air we have in hand, this air will get moisturized, will get little warmer. This because when it comes into our body, it has to get warm up because heart we have some internal temperature, proper internal temperature. So it will get starting warm from the nasal cavity. So what will happen? It will get warm, moisturized and filter through nasal head. यहाँ से that will get filtered. Now this air has come in pharynx. Pharynx. What is the pharynx? Pharynx is a common passage for the food and air. Whatever the food is entering from the mouth, that will also follow the same route, and air will also follow the same route. So pharynx is a common passage for air and food. Now this food has entered into this bulge part. This is called larynx. What is larynx? Larynx commonly we can say the voice box. What happened here in the larynx? It will pitch the voice. Proper जो voice का formation होता है, that creates from the larynx. From the larynx, this esophagus and trachea will get separated. So the larynx is the place from where this pharynx will branch into two parts. That is one we can now show in this. That is esophagus. We already studied in the digestive tract. Okay, so the one which is converted into the digestive tract food pipe or esophagus, and here this I have shown is called trachea. Now what trachea will do? Trachea is the bridge of between bronchus and larynx. Larynx के बीच में एक ब्रिज बनाता है. That is the transport way of air. Here food will not get entered, so the only air will get transported. The most important thing over here is the trachea is covered with trachea is covered with cartilaginous rings. Okay, what is the function of the cartilaginous ring? That is most important question in this, many times asked. Cartilaginous rings present around the trachea will make the trachea strengthen. It gives strength to the trachea so that in absence of air, okay, when we breathe and breathe out, sometimes we don't, sometimes it is the gap. So in that gap, when air is not present, so continuously flowing is not there. Sometimes in presence, in absence of air, this trachea will support this ring of cartilage will support the trachea to get collapse. Collapse होने से बचाते हैं trachea को. Okay, so and this is smooth and strong kind of material, cartilage. So it is very important. It is elastic as well as very strong material. Now this trachea is further divided into two bronchi. These are the two main branch which enter into two different lungs. One branch will enter into right and one branch enter into the left lung. Okay. Now so this will, what is the function? Again the same function. It will carry the air into the lungs and use the air through the lungs to outside of the lungs. Okay. Now this bronchi is further divided into bronchioles. These are the small branches are called bronchiole. So there are many bronchioles inside the lung. At the end of bronchiole there is a bulge part, a balloon-like structure is called alveoli. This is the alveoli, which is the actual site for the transfer of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now what will happen into the alveoli, as I explained previously in that diagram, in the alveolar wall, suppose this is the alveoli. In the alveolar wall there are some blood capillaries present which will the air will come from bronchiole to alveoli. Now this air contains all the gases, so out of all the gases it will absorb only oxygen, because in blood, here in the blood capillaries it will have a blood obviously. So in the blood what is present? RBCs, and on the top of RBC bioconcave shape of RBCs. On the RBCs hemoglobin molecules are present. That is why once RBC comes here, hemoglobin will expose to that oxygen molecule. Here O2 molecule is present, so it will get bind with the Hb molecule. So Hb will bind with oxygen. Understand? So this HBO complex is made. Now that is further transported inside through the blood, will go into the heart, and from the heart it will further go into the different organs where respiration process takes place. Okay. Now what is the other thing? What is the another function? I say two functions: transport of oxygen as well as transport of carbon dioxide. So as we know, when respiration takes place in cellular respiration, it will generate carbon dioxide and water. So respiration, what is the byproducts? That are H2O plus CO2. They will use oxygen for the respiration process, for the aerobic respiration, and will generate carbon dioxide. So here CO2 is there. Now where does the CO2 go? CO2 is obviously will bind with some CO2 will enter into the plasma of the blood, whereas most of the CO2 will have a capacity to bind with the hemoglobin molecule, as oxygen molecule also bind. But that CO2 molecule will bind with the hemoglobin molecule inside the blood, inside the cell, or we can say the tissues of the particular organ. So now this CO2 in the body, in the organ, sometimes in the intracellular space also, this CO2 will bind with the Hb. So Hb-CO2 complex will make this blood carrying the CO2 will enter into will come at the wall of alveoli, and it will release the carbon dioxide molecule inside the alveolar sac. Now this Hb molecule are free. This free Hb molecule of red blood cell will bind with the oxygen molecule, and this oxygen molecule binded with RBC will transport it through the transportation system to the heart of the organism, and through the heart it goes to the different organs of the organism. Hope you have understand all the second part of this chapter, that is respiration. In the next session we will start with the transportation. Thank you.